Hey race fans, it's race day top 5 with me, Frank 5. It's Bristol, baby, Thunder Valley, where passing on the top and bottom are unbelievable. Action, crashes, you name it, everything. That's what Bristol's all about, and you have to have a king of either past or present of Bristol, and right now the present king is Rowdy. Number 1, Kyle Busch scores his 3rd win of the season, winning at today's Food City 500 over Big Brother Kurt Busch, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, and Denny Hamlin. How Kyle Busch won this race is still beyond me, and, still, I'm here tasting him win back to back to back. It's literally a record, a broken record. Kyle Busch, I don't know, first and foremost, how in the world he was a contender, because lap 2, an early caution, he got ran into the back by Ricky Stenhouse, damaged the back end. The car still was driving really fine, but he was not a dominant car like some of the other contenders, which I'll get to in a moment. He was basically a top 5, top 10 car for the majority of the race, but staying out late after a caution for Kyle Larson propelled Kyle Busch to stay out on old tires and hold off a challenge from his big brother Kurt Busch for an unbelievable performance by the 18 team. They are probably still, at the moment, the favorites to win the championship, even though there's a lot of racing left to go. But Kyle Busch and Adam Stevens certainly have the 18 team as the top contender for the title at the moment. Number 2, the Penske guys. It's basically been a battle of Gibbs and Penske for the wins this season, and Penske almost added another win to their list today. I mean, they were all strong. Ryan Blaney, who last spring was probably the best car until he got caught up in a big accident that wasn't even his fault, was strong today, but so is his teammate Joey Logano, the 22. Logano, he had the best car even though Blaney led the most laps. Unfortunately, both of them pitted late for the caution, and there was a little bit of confusion between, restarting between those guys and their teammate Brad Keselowski, who had a really good car despite some problems today. Keselowski got penalized because he wasn't put in the right position, and there was confusion, and he said, after the race, I'm going to the hall at NASCAR hauler because I think they got it wrong. But the Penske cars, had it all controlled for the majority of the race. And unfortunately, that late race caution bit them, and they took the chance to come in for tires, and Logano went from 8th to 3rd on the restart. He literally passed, with 14 laps to go, he passed 5 guys. And if the Busch boys maybe tangled, Joey Logano probably could have been there and could have won. But you get what you get when you come in late and, don't stay out like the Busch boys did. It just didn't work in Logano's favor, but the Penske cars had speed all day. Number 3, Clint Bowyer, who's kind of had an average year, almost won today as well. He was really strong with the Penske guys. Unfortunately, late race contact with Joey Logano, Bowyer in the wall, and I thought his day was done, but he was able to come back and finish 7th. He was a little bit disgusted afterwards with, what happened, but he was still overall happy with the performance and said the racing was awesome today. I thought it was a really good race, and Bowyer just, they're so close to getting a win. They've had a lot of problems at the beginning of the year. They turned it around lately despite a couple of issues, but, that's racing. You get what you get. Number 4, Kevin Harvick, D4, was not a contender all day, and I'm going to tell you why. This is the problem at Bristol. Before the race even got started, Kevin Harvick failed pre-race inspection 3 times. That meant his chief engineer was ejected from the speedway, and he had to make a pass-through on the first lap of the race, and fell multiple laps down, was at least 4 laps down at one time, and he got all of them back to finish 13th. A great drive, unfortunately, too little too late. If maybe this stuff hadn't happened, Kevin Harvick's car was certainly strong towards the end. We just didn't really get to see what it was because there wasn't a lot of laps left. So hopefully there's next time for Kevin Harvick in the 14. And number 5, Kurt Busch took a poor qualifying effort, and really bad. He was very disgusted after qualifying with his performance. They turned a poor qualifying run into a top 2 car, put the challenge towards Kyle in the end until he ended up getting in the wall. But Kurt Busch and the 1 team continue to show consistency. Kurt Busch, the last few years, has been the most consistent driver in NASCAR, whether it's with Stuart Haas or now with Ganassi. Kurt Busch is closing on a win. He said they're not there yet, but they're getting close. They're making progress. They're rebuilding the 1 team because the 1 team really sucked last year with Jamie McMurray. But Kurt Busch has turned the team. They're going to win races, and they could be contenders for the championship if things go their way. But Kurt Busch and his crew chief, Matt McCall, are obviously clicking really well together. Finally, recap Chase Elliott, who won the pole. What a day for Chase Elliott. Led the first few laps, and then unfortunately in front of us, Ryan Preece blew a tire, and we got ran into by Corey LaJoie, barely nicked the inside wall, and we had no power steering. I felt like that's it. We're not going to have a good finish. He fought his butt off to literally get back into the top 10 after falling a lap down, and we got into the top 5. We had a really good race car today, finishing 11th because of, late race contact with Ryan Newman, which was Newman's fault for racing with Blaney. And Elliott said on the radio, Newman on the track, when asked what happened, he said, Newman on the racetrack's what happened. And, we pitted for 2 times in the last stop. Maybe we should have stayed out with the Busch boys, but, it was Al Gustafson's decision. I can't control it. The Chase Elliott fans can't control it. But, we had a good car. Our, finish didn't really show our performance. Our performance was much better than that. And just go on to the next race. Our short track program looks really good this year. We've had good race cars. We just need some luck. Up next, another short track action at Saturday night under the lights in Richmond. Will Kyle Busch go for his 4th win of the year? Will Denny Hamlin, the hometown boy, win? Or will the Penske guys take the top? We'll find out. So subscribe, like, congrats to Rowdy Busch, and see you this week.